Welcome back to the OMG It's Derek podcast. I am here, Codations, with my man, the one and only host, OMG It's Derek. What is going on, my friend?
Oh, not too much, man. I'm excited for this podcast. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Why don't
Dude,
you tell people what we're doing?
Oh, man, I know I'm excited as well. So today, ladies and gentlemen, for those listening in or tuning in to the YouTube video, we're going to be jumping into kind of like a would you rather questionnaire system. So it's kind of like a fun thing for me and D or Derek, to kind of get to know each other a little bit more beyond what we already know about each other. And then not only that, it gives you guys as listeners to, find out a little bit more. And so just to give you an example, we've got a bunch of would you rather questions, and we've got a couple of like crazy, bizarre, questionnaire questions that you would find on like a 20 questions game. Not only that, some of the stipulations we're going to be having, and that's going to be no caps, so no BS. And then last but not least, it's got to be truthful, and we got to do it on a timely manner. There is no thinking about this stuff all the way through. Just first thing comes to your mind, how you feel, spit it out. All right. So D,
sounds good, man.
You're going to go first, my friend. Are you ready to go first?
I'm ready, man. Hit me.
All right,
with
I got a perfect one for you. I got a perfect one for you.
All right.
So the very first one we're going to start it off is, how long do you think that you would survive in a zombie apocalypse if you would survive at all? That's an interesting question. What do you think?
I actually listen. No cap. No cap.
All right.
I actually think I would do extremely well in a zombie apocalypse. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Number one, I'm actually pretty good at fixing a lot of different stuff. I had a dad that was very hands-on, didn't come from a lot of money, so we always fix our own shit. So I'm pretty knowledgeable with that shit. I'm pretty athletic. I mean, I'm a big guy. Like, I got a little bit of meat to me, but I work out consistently. I jog consistently. So I have strength and cardio.
So you got that endurance too. You got that endurance build. All right.
Exactly. I've been shooting guns my entire life. So I know how to use guns and weapons, knives. I've done fishing. I know how to grow crops. I've had gardens in my life.
Damn, so you're set. The zombie apocalypse happens. You got no bills. You got no bills.
I have a cabin that's self-sufficient in the middle of the woods in PA.
Listen to this guy. Anybody tuning in, we got a guy here, a survivalist. This is who you want to hit up. Hit up the comments before the zombies take over the world, my friend.
No cap. I'm not a survivalist. Like, I'm not saying but I'm saying, like, I think I could figure it out. Like, if I meet up with a couple good other people, and just knowing the family I have, I think we do all right. Like, we might have to learn some shit and figure some shit out, but I think we do all right. What about you?
All right. So, see, man, I want to say I'm like a quarter of you. Like, here's the thing. I am a if it came down to guns type of situation, I would be more than fine, right? Between my arsenal, between my parents, aunts and uncles, cousins, siblings, brothers-in-laws, we've all got enough guns, right? And I mean, a shit ton of ammo to last us, in eternity, unless we get jacked and it's all stolen. But outside of that, I don't know how far I would be able to go, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know shit about surviving in the woods without a lighter. Like, I just really don't know. I don't know how to start. I mean, I've played enough survival games. Like, if I can collect sticks on the ground, sure, and build a fucking hut, I probably could do that. But I don't think I could take 2 sticks and start a fire. And I really don't know what the fuck there's between a stone and flint is. So I would be SOL in that book. Not only that, water, every survival game that I've played, you can almost drink water out of everywhere. And if that's like not the case, if everything's like riddled with disease, I mean, you boil it, like, but how the fuck you start the fire? I mean, like, you see what I'm saying? We're back to square one. I would have to find somebody like you in the world, and then like just be like, look, dude, I'll fucking tell you a shit ton of stories. I'll talk your ear off. I'll get you entertainment. I'll be the entertainment around the campfire. And then hopefully I can just, weasel my way into surviving as long as possible and be the last one ate if it comes down to cannibalism. Like, that's really what my ploy is.
So you're saying you'll be the guy that's drawing all the zombies in with all the noise you're making?
Nope. I'd be quiet. I'd be 100% quiet. I'd be that motherfucker. Yeah. I'd probably be that guy in the zombie movies and the zombie shows that you see all the time. Yeah. That everybody's like, all right, shh, they're right outside. And then one guy's like, comes out of the bathroom and he's drunk as fuck. And he's like, yo, what the fuck's up? And then all of a sudden, the zombies come raiding in, and, he's probably like one of the very last ones to die, unfortunately, but all the other deaths preceding up to that was because of him being stupid and loud. That's probably going to be me.
That's funny.
All right. So what do you got? You got a question for me, D? Let's go.
Oh man. All right. I think I'm going to do this one. All right. Would you rather lose your ability to speak or the ability to hear?
100% use the ability to speak.
Lose the ability to speak?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I would. Reason being is because I'm efficient in sign language to be able to communicate.
I forgot about that.
So because I'm efficient in sign language, I would still want to hear. You see what I'm saying? So like, I wouldn't be worried about me projecting my voice to other people, because then I would be able to sign back to them. Like, or, that if somebody doesn't understand sign language, you might be able to write it down or whatever else, but I'd still be able to hear. And the reason being is I want to hear people talking shit about me. I want to still be able to listen to music. I still want, to enjoy, other types of content and other things that I can do via my ears. My voice doesn't affect anything besides maybe my ability to create content on YouTube. But other than that, like,
I was going to say, so you're like pretty much saying you wouldn't be doing YouTube anymore, most likely.
Oh,
I mean, I guess you could.
I would go full ASL, motherfucker. Or I would go full robotic.
I would straight be like, do robotic voices.
Oh yeah, dude. Right, I would hit that button. I'd type it all up, get it all nice and smooth, and I could hear it. So there goes my editing. I could still do all my editing work.
True. You know what? That's pretty smart. That
would be. What about you?
Oh man, that's actually a tough one. I didn't expect you to answer it so quickly. I mean, I know we're supposed to be like moot, but that's a tough one. But I think I would have to. I think I'd have to lose the.
I gotta think music, man.
Yeah,
music though.
I think I would want to lose the ability to speak as well. I think that just not because I necessarily don't. Not because I think one's better than the other. I think that is just the least worst one to lose, if that makes sense. And that's my only reason.
Well, I mean,
no other reason outside that.
I was gonna say, if you want to bring in like sentimental value, I mean, I just take a look at this right now. I'm looking at my son here on the baby monitor. My wife's gone, by the way, for anybody listening in. But I mean, you would never be able to hear him again.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's more sentimental value, but even your daughter, like, you wouldn't be able to hear any of that. You know what I mean? The wedding vows, you wouldn't be able to hear, nothing, as they age.
Zombies coming.
Dude, exactly. You'd be dead. You'd be dead. Your survival window would just go from peak straight to tank, because you would instantly be like, this guy ain't worth anything. He can't hear a damn thing. He can survive all day long by himself, but he can't hear anybody coming. Yeah, it'd be terrible.
Yeah, I agree. Everything you're saying, 100%. That makes sense. Like I said, I think both suck, but just losing the ability to speak sucks a little bit less.
All right, I agree with you. Like I said, I would agree with that. I don't want to lose either one of them, because I enjoy both of them. But
I like talking.
It is. Oh yeah. I don't at all. I hate talking.
No, not at all. Not at all.
All right. So here's gonna be one right here. Okay. So here's what we got. Number 3 on the list, and it's gonna be: would you rather be the richest person in the world or immortal? And so for those of you that are listening, immortal would be living forever. Immortal. You would rather live forever.
Shit.
Or the richest person in the world. So you live forever, and you could be broke as shit your entire life forever. Well, I guess
that would be kind of hard.
I was gonna say,
like,
you would think that you would live forever.
After true. Like 1,000 years, the interest, you're gonna be rich. Like this, it's just gonna work that way.
I mean, but would the dollar still be a thing in 1,000 years? You probably have shifted into something else by then.
Yeah, but you would have just shifted.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So,
well, not only that too, you'd be immortal. So, I'm looking at like crime side, like you'd be immortal. So like you wouldn't have to worry about ever getting like shot or anything. I mean, dying. So you could take a crap ton of money.
Again, like, because I said that quickly, and I do think that would be like, I would rather be immortal than be rich. I mean, I think most people would rather have more time than more money. But there's a second. I have a question for your question, and that is can you stop being immortal whenever you want?
No.
Is there still, like, when you say immortal, is it immortal as in we be aging, so you can just live forever natural, like, but you can still like maybe die to getting hit by a car, or die like getting shot, or something like that would
For me, I'm gonna go
end your own life if you wanted to eventually. Like, let's say you live for 5,000 years, you'd be like, all right, I'm tired of this shit.
No. For me, I'm gonna say that the question is super shallow, and there is none of that. It's you live forever. That's it. No questions, hands are asked. You would live for eternity. You would outlive all of your loved ones. Everybody that you know in this world right now would eventually die.
Yeah, I think I go richest person. I think I go richest person. See, in my mind, when I think immortal, I'm thinking like the future we might actually have one day, which would be like you choose when you die.
Right,
because
correct.
We just beat all disease and everything.
You beat,
so if it's just
raging,
like you just live forever,
everything.
there's never any possibility of dying. I think I go with richest person in the world, actually. So I take that back.
Yep.
What about yourself?
I would do 100% immortal.
What?
Because I'll tell you right off another thing about me, but that you probably don't even know, D. I'm a massive like, I don't know, like this weird fantasy thing with vampires. Like, I've just been in love with vampires since a kid. And so like, I would 100%, like, it doesn't matter what it is. I mean, damn the soul to hell. All my loved ones die in the long run. Like, everything wouldn't matter. Nope. I would live forever. That would be perfectly fine with me. I'd love to see the different generations. I'd love to see the technology. I'd love to see the world come to a fucking end. I'd love to see everything, anything and everything. I would be perfectly fine with living forever. Not only that, dude, I got the fucking energy to sustain me, baby. I would be going forever, dude. I'm talking about, like, I would get into so many things. I would be learning new hobbies. I would do this. I would do that. If I got bored, I would, travel. I'd do everything. I mean, I maybe if we're talking, a million years or however long from now, I might get bored with something, maybe. But
you can't.
I always think, but listen, no, I'm not saying die. I'm saying I get bored with something or whatever. But I'm saying, but like, the beauty of it is I'm a social butterfly, baby. So I'd have multiple wives that, one would die and wait a couple years or however long it took me to, get over that. And then, then boom, have another wife, have another kid, if that's even possible. I don't know how that would work, but if that could, you know what I mean? I just live multiple lives. I live the life out, of all those people and then just keep on going. I mean, I'd meet new people, talk to new people, and, learn new shit. Like I said, I'd grow with the generations. It'd be pretty cool. I'd be down for immortality.
I mean, I agree that all that would be cool, but I feel like only for so long.
Yeah, probably. We'll never know.
I mean,
that's the premise behind the question.
50 million years.
Yeah.
You might be like, fuck, I'm ready to die. And you can't.
Oh, hold on.
Yep.
Hold on. My wife's calling me.
All right, my turn. So I'm going to go with the question everybody wants to know.
Oh, God.
When you buy brand new clothes.
Yep.
Do you wash them before you wear them, or do you just wear them first since they're brand new?
100% I wash those fuckers. I don't wear anything. I don't wear anything. It doesn't matter what it is. Socks, shoes, hats, pants, nothing. I don't wear anything, nothing. And by hats, I'm not referring to flat bills or snapbacks, because obviously you don't wash those. But I'm talking about like the beanies, you know what I mean? And things like that you would, that suck around your head. But like, no, I 100% do not wear anything until it's completely washed in the thing. My wife, though, is the complete opposite. She is a crazy mad lad and will buy clothes right off the rack. And she'll literally, sometimes if she's that excited about putting on a shirt or wearing something, she'll put that fucker on in the car, take the tags off right in the car and put it on. And she'll wear that sucker or like socks or anything else like that. And here's the thing. Dude, I'm so picky, man. I'm so picky, dude, with that stuff. Like, it's just, I don't know. It just gives me like the heebie-jeebies. Like I would buy it from the store, and all I can think about for whatever reason is just, the nastiest humans on earth, walking by and like just touching it and grabbing the shirt and, going in the dressing room and putting it on and be like, oh, this one doesn't fit me, and hanging it back up, and then putting it back on the rack. And then, I buy that shirt and then, yeah, no, I just can't get that
second part
out
of
my
the question.
mind.
Second part of the question.
Yep.
So then do you not ever try on any clothes before you buy them?
Nope.
Okay.
But but also in my fairness, though, I've been like the same size for X amount of years. So, I mean, maybe I will have to try something on, like when, I don't know, if I'm going to buy like, I don't know. I mean, like if I would gain a bunch of weight or something, but like I haven't changed my size in years. So like, no, I mean, I just, if I'm buying pants, I go online, you know what I mean? And I order the same size pants, same waist, same length that I've always ordered, no matter what it is, get it, put it in the wash machine, wash it, try it on later. If it doesn't fucking fit me, then I just always keep my tags, you know what I mean? Then I just throw them all back in the thing and send it back. I mean, I don't ever try anything. No. My wife will load up her arms and go in the dressing room and try stuff on. I'm just weird, man. I don't know. I'm just weird about that kind of stuff. What about you? How are you? Outside on trying on clothes at the store, outside of that, do you do it? Like if you bought a brand new shirt, you come home and you want to
wash everything also. Everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't wear anything without washing it. But I will try it on in the store just because it's a bigger inconvenience. Even though I do hate even that, it's a bigger inconvenience to then have to go home. It doesn't fit. Because I don't always buy like the same pants or this like same brand. And I've noticed like different brands will fit differently. So
no, I would agree with you. But that's kind of goes by. I was gonna say that kind of goes back though to what I was meaning. Like for me personally, I've bought the same pair of pants from the same company like for the past like 5 years, probably. You know what I mean? And the same thing with like my shirts. I buy all my same shirts and everything outside of like, you know, Target shirts or something, you know what I mean? Like, you know, Target or Walmart shirts, which normally I just always buy a large, you know what I mean? So I get a large shirt, you know, whether my wife buys it or I buy it online, it comes in the mail. I throw it right into the wash machine, put the tags on the dresser, wait for it to come out, turn it on, you know, or put it on and roll. I've never really, I don't remember a time that I've ever had to like, I don't know, send back a large shirt. I mean, normally you can tell visually sometimes.
Shirts. Normally it's just like jeans or jeans or shorts, like pants that I'll try on. Shirts I don't really try on.
And I guess the only exception for me with this question, because there is an exception, would be like dress attire. You know, like dressing up attire, you know, like if you go to a place like, you know what I mean, and you need to get fitted for something, you know what I mean, like a wedding or something, that's an exception, I feel like, because like I don't really have a choice at that point. Like, you know, they got to take my measurements, you know, they put these, you know, they put their clothes on me, you know, all the other stuff. I don't really have a choice. No, if we're talking just everyday shopping, I'm a washer before I wear it. No, my wife is, like I said, I just call her a mad lad, but like, no, she's like hardcore, like, yeah, she doesn't care. No, she doesn't care.
Yeah, I think my wife, I'm pretty sure, washes everything as well. She'll try on, but she washes.
Okay. Well, this kind of flips me to another question. I don't even think is even on my list here. Okay. But it's kind of on the same realm of washing. Do you wash all of your produce and fruit before you eat it? And that's all of your fruit and produce, meaning carrots, apples, oranges, bananas. You do.
Yes. We wash we wash everything.
Okay.
I mean, even lettuce and spinach and all that.
What about in packages?
Even if it's already triple, like we get like spinach from Sam's Club and it says like triple wash on the package, I still wash it.
What about in packages? Do you still wash
it? Yeah. Everything.
Interesting. Yeah. See, I do when it comes from a store, but I don't when it comes from like the farm. So like Allie's parents, they grow a lot of their own veggies and everything out there on the farm. You know, I don't wash any of that, like pre-wash that. Like I'll just take like a tomato that's got like dry dirt and, you know, shit on the outside of it. You mean, and I'll just put it on the cutting board, slice it up, throw it on a BLT. You know what I mean? I don't care. Or like carrots, you know what I mean? You know, like I'll just, you know, take the carrot, I mean, you know, and just kind of, you know, shave off, you know, the outside with like a, you know, potato peeler, you know what I mean? And then just chop it up. And I don't wash it whatsoever like that, just because they've got their own little hand garden, you know what I mean? Like a big size hand garden that they till. They don't use any chemicals or anything.
I would wash more from a home garden than I would from a store. Oh yeah, 100%.
But why, if there's no chemicals being used or anything? That's the thing that's in my head.
They already wash and sanitize those. Well, because whether there's no chemicals or anything used, there's still germs and stuff that are in that dirt. I mean, there's just natural.
Yeah.
And even just like, I mean, a worm's laying next to one of those carrots dead and it decomposes. And there's stuff already there.
Maybe that would explain some of the grody shits. I don't know.
From a factory. I mean, at least like worst comes to worst. Like, I mean, I still do wash them, but like if I had to choose like farm,
like an apple fresh off the tree, biting into it and eating that apple fresh off the tree, or an apple fresh off the stack in the store, which one are you eating plain without washing it?
The tree. That's different though.
Why?
You're talking because I don't know.
There's still worms on apples and trees,
but I don't know who handled that apple in the store. So
that's true. That's true. Okay.
There's a bigger
Okay.
You know what I mean? I was talking about like package, because you were saying
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay, I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
If it's, I mean, like if I go in and there's,
yeah, but see, I'm also different than you though. Yeah, but you're washing things that are packaged. See, I don't even do that. So like, even if I buy it from a store, like like baby carrots, right? Like they come in a package. I don't wash my baby carrots when I eat them if they're in a package if they're closed up.
Yeah, I know.
But now, like potatoes and stuff. You know what I mean? Like obviously, like I wash those. You know what I mean? Because they're like open, or like apples. I wash those. Bananas. Bananas. I don't really wash bananas because you don't eat the outside. You eat them on the inside. You don't eat the inside. Bananas. But yeah, I don't know. Oh no, it's just another side question. I just thought that was a good good observation.
Yeah. Do you wash in? Listen, you have on here. So just for everybody, listen. Codations wrote these questions down for us, to have some already here or whatever. So he says, do you wash in between your toes every shower?
Yeah.
So I mean, good question, but I want to take it a bit further. Yep. Do you wash below the knees every time you shower? Meaning your like shins, calves, and in, like your toes and feet and all that.
You asking me?
Yeah.
100%. I even wash in between. I even wash in between my toes and my legs, every single thing, my ankles, everything.
Okay.
And I actually have a backstory, the reason why. So when I was in high school, I didn't do that, and I got athlete's foot. And never knew that I had athlete's foot. I just had the red bumps in between, some of my toes on the one foot. It got super dry, scaly. I mean, really, really bad. Started to hurt a little bit. Then it kind of went away for a while, and I just forgot about it. Then it snuck back up on me, the same exact foot, just kept on rinsing and repeating. Could never figure out what it was. Again, my rough childhood a little bit. So I didn't have the best childhood with doctors and all that stuff. And so finally, I went over to my girlfriend's house at the time, and I just had asked her mom, which was a nurse at the time, and she was like, I think you have athlete's foot. And well, this went on, I'm kidding you, I'm not joking. It went on for like probably a year, close to a year that I dealt with this. Just didn't even think twice about it. Like I was just like, what the heck is on my foot, And finally, after going to the doctor, and they were like, yeah, dude, you need some antifungal cream. You need this spray. I'd probably get rid of your shoe. At this point, because you've had it for so long, like that bacteria soaked all in the shoe, all that stuff. And they were like, yeah, no, like you need to like clean all this stuff. So then finally, after going through that, like I've just been petrified. Like I don't want to get back into that shit. So I wash my feet like completely every single time I take a shower, and I shower every single day, sometimes twice a day, depending on, what I get into or how much I sweat that day. I'm just a sweat monster, especially in my crack. I don't know why. Just all my sweat glands are in my butt, but basically,
Thanks for throwing that in there.
Appreciate yeah. Just for anybody that say, yeah, exactly.
Curly red ass hair.
Oh yeah. Carpet matches the drapes, baby. But basically what I was saying is yeah, I mean, I don't know. For me, yeah, I always have. That's kind of my backstory. I don't know if I would if that never happened to me, because I didn't. I mean, when I was in high school, it'd be like once every couple shower type of thing. Like I was like, oh I got socks on, I got shoes on, I hardly ever wear flip-flops, So I'm just like, I'm not worried about it, but I don't know. What are your thoughts?
What are my thoughts?
Yeah, every time or no?
I do not wash in between my toes every shower.
Okay.
I can't think of ever washing in between my toes ever in my life.
Ever. Really? So hold on. So let me ask you a question here. So are you one of those people? I just feel like you are. That you tell me this. You one of those people that just feel like the soapy tub water that's in the bottom is cleaning up enough between your toes?
Soapy?
Well, yeah, you don't use soap on your body? Get out of
every
here.
Shower?
What?
Every shower?
You don't wash your body with soap every single time you shower?
I do not.
Really?
Interesting.
Okay. All right.
The only time I use soap is if I notice my skin's getting dirty.
And you don't think you stink or anything?
Oh, I know I don't. I've never once had somebody in my lifetime that stinks.
Really? So okay, so then let me ask you this. So how is your complexion as far as like dryness? You don't have dry skin. It's just natural and feels good, or what?
I don't get dry skin at all. I've never had anything like athlete's foot.
Interesting.
The only place I get dry skin would be my head, only since I've been bald, and that's probably more from the sun. So I do use like an oil after I get out of the shower on the top of my head, and I do use deodorant. but that's mainly because I don't like sweating, not because I stink.
For perspiration.
I can go for a jog. I mean, like my wife hates me for it, but I can go for a jog. Like, I can go do a 5K, 85 degrees outside, pouring sweat, come home, air dry off. I don't normally I do jump in the shower, rinse off anytime I've sweated, but I can come home sweating like that. My wife says I don't stink one bit.
Interesting.
I've never had BO. I've been told by like doctors when I asked about it, they just said it must mean normally it means you have either a good liver or a good kidney. I forget which one. A really good liver or kidney if you don't have BO at all. But
interesting. Yeah, very cool.
Don't get it.
Very cool.
So I don't use soap. I don't know. I actually, there's a lot of like, because there's this whole new wave right now of like, not to go too far off subject, because I know this is just but there's a whole, if you look up like soap and like issues with soap, there's a like, I don't know, you'd be surprised. One day when you're sitting at work bored, just look up soap and like all natural soap versus regular soap and
that's what I was just about to get into. Well, I might already know what you're on to. So see, I actually use an all natural bar soap is what I use. I don't use like alcohol based, or chemical based body washes or anything like that.
Yeah.
I buy all mine from a company you probably have heard of them. They did a lot of funny advertisement, Dr. Squatch online.
Yeah. Okay. Yep,
so I buy all my soaps from them. So I just do the monthly soap subscription thing. So like they send me like I think 2 bars a month or something like that, and that's more than enough for me. So I actually kind of cheat the system because it's a cancel at your will. So like what I do is I just buy like 2 or 3 months in a row. And it costs me like $10 or whatever a month. So I buy like 2 or 3 months in a row, and then it like stocks me up a couple extra bars. You know what I mean? So then then I cancel it. Then I don't pay for like 2 or 3 months. Do you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, once I get caught back up, I pay again. And then, they send me more soaps and stuff. But no, I've done quite a bit of research on that, because somebody had told me that when I was in college, that it was like really bad for your skin, dries your skin out, all this other stuff compared to, using natural soaps. But anyways, so I definitely use natural soap. But little side note though, speaking of this, my wife is very different. She takes showers every day, but she's a firm believer in she doesn't wash her hair every time she showers. So she's really big in that. Females. Okay, so she's really big in that, which I thought was different because I've always washed my hair when I had long hair even. And then not only that, she doesn't like to use washcloths or rags. So she will put, either body wash or soap or whatever she's going to put on, on her skin, like everywhere, but only with her hands. She doesn't like using a rag or a loofah or anything like that, which I thought was
either, but I'm not using soap.
Well, right. But I'm saying, but like even with her using soap, she doesn't. And I don't know if that's like a personal preference thing or if that's like she, some type of woman hygiene thing or something. But for me, I don't know. I've always just the way I was raised. It was, you get that soap, you get the washcloth, you scrub down your skin, get all that dead skin, get all the, bacteria and germs off your kind of mindset, so that's kind of just the way I was raised. So I always use a washcloth but here's where the weird part is. So I always use a washcloth, but here's where I'm like kind of like a hypocrite because I'm getting all the dirt and scum and everything off of me. But then I reuse the washcloth like 5 times in the shower when I go take a shower. So it's like kind of defeating the purpose, I guess. But I don't know. You could argue it both ways.
Do you use the same towel over and over after you get out of the shower for a couple of days? Or?
Yep. Same thing with my washcloth. Yep. Thing. And then Yep. And then, but see, I've also got a weird thing. I got a weird thing too. Normally I don't go to bed unless if I shower. Like I just had this weird thing, like if I'm dirty and stinky and shit
that brings
from
me
side,
to another question. I can't
lay down in bed with
a little more. Not to like, sorry, audience, but so listen. I think
I already know this question. I
was talking to one of my best friends.
Yep.
And I don't shower before bed. Sometimes I shower after sex, depending on how good a sex it is. But I don't. So I was talking to a friend, and actually, then it became like. I was talking to my group of friends, and I was surprised at how many people, when they're done having sex, they just put back on their underwear. Male and female.
Nope. Hell no.
Male and female. That's what. And
listen, I thought I was weird.
Listen, I thought I was. Listen, they made me feel like I was weird because, like, I was the odd man out when I said no. I wash every I don't take a full shower like you said. You take a shower.
I take a shower every time I have sex.
Yeah,
I take a shower every single time.
But I wash again. Sometimes I do, depending on but I wash up down there.
Right.
Like
Yeah, in the sink, you do a sponge bath. You do a sponge bath or something.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wait, before or after?
After.
What do you? Yeah, but before bed is what you're talking about.
Well, just after sex, whether that's
yeah. I get what you're saying.
Whenever.
Yeah, I get you.
Okay.
No.
Like I said, I was the odd man out by that. Like most of my friends are like, "Whoa, we'll just put back on our underwear."
Yeah, I'm the same as you. I'm the odd man out. Yeah, I've had this conversation with my buddies too, drinking, hanging out. Oh yeah, I've had the same conversation. Yeah, I've asked the same question before, and no, I've had like I don't know. I'm gonna say if I take a guess, 8 out of 10 people that I've asked that question to, at least 8 out of 10, I was always the odd man out with the only one that washed. That went up and got up and took a shower and or sponge bath.
That's why you pre-wash your clothes before.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
Wearing
exactly.
Them when you buy them.
Yep, 100%,
brother. I think it's your turn for a question.
All right, so the question up we've got here. Let's see, real quick. Let me pick one out on the thing. All right, yeah. Here's what here's a good one. It's not a would you rather question, but it's a good one. All right, I want to hear what you got to say, Mr. Survivalist here. Who's winning in a fight? Who's winning in a fight? You or a mountain lion? And now here's the thing. The reason why I strategically put mountain lion on here, I didn't put a lion because that's a huge ass cat. And the chances are you're probably going to die. And then I didn't put bobcat because it's kind of a little bit bigger than a regular house cat. So overall, here, you take this, please. Sorry, the wife isn't here. So overall, so my thought process here is mountain lion. So smaller than your waist, but still pretty freaking deadly. So which one you got here? You winning or is it winning?
I think it's a winning. I
think
would
so?
like to. I'm pretty sure. I would like to say it would be me that's winning, but I honestly think it would be hard to win against a bobcat. I've dealt with bobcats. Like really? My family's from West Virginia. Not my parents. They were in Ohio, but we just got back. I think I was telling you last week, we just got back from a family reunion in West Virginia. So there's like bobcats and stuff out there. And I'm gonna be honest, dude, like a good sized dog, 40, 50 pounds, like you're gonna have a hard time fighting that fucker off because we just don't have that animal instinct readily available to us that they do. Like we're gonna try to reach out and stop this thing. This thing's immediately going for your throat, and it's gonna get your jugulars in one bite, and you're gonna lay there and bleed out. Like it knows exactly how to kill your ass instantly, and it's been doing it its entire life. You're gonna have to hope you can somehow wrangle it up enough that it can't do that to you immediately, because if you stand zero.
Do you know that I did not? I going into this question, I was pretty sure. I was like, this mountain lion is a little bit bigger than a bobcat, but I'm thinking smaller than a Great Dane, and I'm thinking, I don't know. I think Dean, probably could manhandle his way around, but you make some really good, valid points. I mean, the fact that you bring in the animal instinct aspect of it. Yeah. I think I'd be fucked too. I mean, because I'm thinking in terms of like a dog, you know what I mean? And I'm thinking, but the problem is I'm thinking in terms of a passive dog, like a dog, that's chilling around the house. And I'm thinking okay, that'd probably be easy. The dog's coming up, it's never killed anything in its life before. You know what I mean? It's probably easy enough, it's trying to come bite your ass. It's a little bit easier, to kind of put them in the chokehold or, swing around or let it bite your arm, while you're beating the crap out of it. But I guess you're right. I mean, we're talking about a mountain lion that's been, rabid for how long? You know what I mean? Just on the hunt, prowling and killing stuff. So yeah, it probably would be able to strike faster than you'd be able to stick your hands out, probably.
Plus, any kind of feline is just they're the fucking devil, man. So whether it's a household cat or a mountain
that's
lion.
true. That's true. And those claws, dude, those massive claws are like razors. So they would just shred
they would just rip. That's what I'm saying. Even if you somehow, I'm not saying somebody couldn't survive, but me, I don't know. I just don't think I have enough fighting experience. I don't again, I've thought about this question a lot. I think most guys probably do. We can I take a bear? Because we have black bears around us too. Right. Could I take a black bear? And I think maybe I actually could take a black bear, but even then, probably not. But they're the
bear? You think you could take a bear?
Black bears, they're the small ones. They're maybe.
Yeah, we're still talking a bear, broski. You ever seen?
But they're slower. Bear? They're a lot slower. They're not as agile. You get behind that bitch and put him in a headlock, you can probably get him to pass out.
But do you
and
think,
then you just got to break the neck?
But listen, do you think, you seem hype about this? You think, let me ask you a question.
I've thought about this.
Listen, you think, I don't know shit about bears. You think that you'd be able to keep a bear in a chokehold? Like, you don't think that motherfucker is strong enough to be able to, I know, but I'm talking about its strength, its brute animal strength. You're thinking that you would be able to hold it.
Okay. Well, let me tell you this first. Okay. Let me tell you this. So the average weight of a black bear.
Yeah.
Is like.
No cap. You better be telling me this.
So like truthfully. A female, well, this is according to Google, a female black bear, the average is 90 to 180 pounds. I'm trying to find male, but I'm not finding it right away.
Okay. That's a lot smaller than I was expecting it to be.
That's what I said. Black bears are pretty small. Like they're the smallest of it. So I'm saying, like, I don't know, maybe the males are 200 pounds or 250.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 250.
Even then, you'd be able to sling 200 pounds. I mean, you'd be able to, if you were fighting, you'd be able to sling 200 pounds.
I mean, I can get my like legs wrapped around its neck and fucking just scissor lock that bitch.
Yep.
But again, like a mountain lion, something like that, even a bobcat. The problem is the agility.
Agile. Yeah, I was gonna say they're agile. Yeah,
they're gonna. I mean, even bears are quick. They can be quick, but cats are just a whole different thing. I mean, they can leap at you from 10 feet away. And that's what I'm saying. You're going to have to like grab that bitch out of the air coming at you, like somehow sumoplex it down, get wrapped around it, all while trying to have 4 fucking paws ripping your goddamn eyeballs.
Well, and don't forget, they always land on their feet. So like you go to slam them, they're standing back up before you even slam. Okay. All right. So let's pin the question. We've talked about the mountain lion. We talked about a little bit of a, tiny, small black ass bear that you're going to whoop the ass on. What about a crocodile or an alligator? And here's the real question. Here's the real question. We'll ask you both. In water and on land, can you take them? Can you take it on? Which one? Or can you do both? What do you think you'd be able to handle them both?
Probably an alligator. I don't know about a crocodile.
Okay.
Crocodiles are quite, again, the problem's going to be the weight of a big crocodile.
Okay.
The average weight of an alligator, I think, unless I'm mixing these two up, but I think alligators are the smaller ones out of the bunch.
You got Google right there. Pull that shit up.
Well, yeah. Let's see. Average weight of alligator. Okay. So, a male, the average weight is 500 pounds of an alligator.
Fucking huge.
So maybe it's a crocodile. It's the smaller one.
That's a huge reptile, dude.
Okay, crocodile, 900 to 1,200 pounds. I can't take either. No, I can't. I don't think I can take either, man.
So you
on land or water?
You don't think so? Not even water. Water, they'd be lighter in the water. You don't have to pick them up out of the water. I mean, I'm talking about the problem with the water would be that fucking barrel roll and spin and holding on to them, and not only that, if they stay underwater, you would drown.
Right. I don't think I could take one either way. I don't think I could take them.
Not on land either?
No, I don't think so.
But those
bitches can run like 40 miles per hour, dude.
Holy fuck.
No. Let me see. Dude. How fast can an alligator? It's faster than you think. Okay, no. So they can reach speeds of up to 35 miles per hour on land, though they are known to tire quickly. So again, they can move quick and they're going to bite your ass, and then they're just going to drag you in the water anyways.
I don't know, though. They tire out quickly. You might be able to outrun that fucker.
Maybe, but that's just their top speed.
Because listen, if they're I know. Well, yeah, that's their top speed.
But you didn't say can you outrun an alligator? You said can you beat it in a fight?
Right, but listen, that's what I'm saying. So like, look, you outrun him, right? He's tiring out. He's fucking whooped, right? He's pooped. Maybe he got to like 25 mile an hour, right? He still had 10 mile to go. He's fucking tired as balls. He stops, right, or slows down. Okay, you speed run him. Okay, you come back. Now you got an upper leg. Now he's tired as fuck, and he's on land. It's not even his home territory, and he's 25 miles per hour away from water. So now you don't even have him close enough to water. Yeah,
I don't think you're understanding how miles per hour works.
No, I do understand.
Just because he's running 25 miles per hour doesn't mean boom, he's 25 miles away from the.
That's not what I'm saying. Miles. I'm saying miles per hour, meaning like as long as it takes him to get up to 25 miles per hour, I'm saying he's that far away from the water. Yeah. So I'm saying keep that in mind.
Okay,
you'd have an
if
upper
it's
leg.
Not the biggest alligator in the world, if it's tired, if it's maybe I have a chance. But here's the problem. I don't know that you could strangle an alligator or a crocodile. I think their neck muscles are too big. I don't know that you would have enough strength to do it. I don't know. Again, if it was a smaller one, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but would you? But my question, what would you need to though? That's the real thing. Because like, wouldn't it be like a snake where you would?
I mean,
just,
are we having weapons in this? Like, what are we doing?
No. I'm saying like, wouldn't you be able to just lock down his jaw? Like, because that would be the worst thing that he could get you, right? His arms aren't long enough to fucking wrap around you. So like, I mean, his jaw would be the biggest thing. So like, wouldn't it be like a snake? You'd be able to like, bear hug the freaking, entire engulf, around the nostrils and everything. And then that would be the defense. I mean, the only thing would be, I guess, if he barrel rolled, I guess.
Okay, wait, SOL, but, okay. So that would be your defense. But while you're doing that, how are you killing this thing?
I guess that makes, I don't know. Plug in his nostrils, man. I don't fucking know.
I
don't know. That's a good question. I don't know how. Poking him in the eyeball. Can you kill him by punching his eyeball out? Well, I guess how would you punch him if you're squeezing the shit out of his
I mean, if you got no, I mean, I do know, I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe their opening force is actually, I think you can actually hold their mouth closed with one hand.
Really?
I don't think they have the opening force at all this way. It's only this way.
It's straight
it's
down.
The close. So I actually think, because I've seen, like, I believe I've seen videos of trainers and stuff where they're just like holding like the snout like this with just their, 2 fingers and their thumb, and the
alligator can't open it because it doesn't have opening force.
Right.
Interesting.
Right. But again, I just don't know how you're gonna kill it with just like your hands. I mean,
yeah, you have it like this right here, and then you just.
I don't know if you could do it. That's what I'm saying. Like maybe like, a UFC fighter would have enough force to like do some damage. But I just don't know if my punch or your punch is going to do any damage to that alligator.
To be honest with you, probably not. Because I mean, now that I think about it, they're wearing a suit of armor. I mean, like their scales and everything else is like a suit of armor. So I mean, like, yeah, you'd have to be able to have some blunt force or some sharp force to be able to do some sort of damage.
Like maybe you can pick up a rock and beat it with it, like that. But again, I guess I'm assuming no weapons because we're just like taking
right. Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I said, I think out of all those, the only one maybe I have a chance with is the black bear. Listen, like I said earlier, I don't even know that I like a 50-pound dog that got pissed off. Like a vicious dog. I don't even know that I could beat that, honestly. Like I would think maybe because it doesn't have claws. So I literally just got to dodge getting bit and then wrap that motherfucker in
or you sacrifice or you sacrifice. That's the thing. Like I think a lot of people don't think about that. Like, or you sacrifice. So like most of those dogs or tigers and shit. I've watched a lot of stuff on tigers, and like the biggest thing is they grab one spot. And then they keep on, clinching, and holding down. They're normally not repeating, biters. So like most of the time they say in those shows and stuff, like the best option to do is to sacrifice a limb. Do you know what I mean? So like, whether it's a leg or a hand or whatever it is, and then that's when you use whatever else remaining shit you have, to defend yourself off, whether it's eyes and, whatever you can get, a hold of. So same thing with like a shark, if a fucking shark bites your arm, you know what I mean? Like most of the time they're not fucking, chomping and eating your entire body. I mean, they bite, you know what I mean? And then they're held there for X amount of time or seconds or whatever. You know what I mean? That's when you should be doing whatever your counterattack would be to help hopefully defend it off. But again, we're talking about about a situation that we're not in. I mean, you're in a situation and you don't think about any of this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Me personally, no, there's no fucking way, dude. I don't have the strength. I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to laugh at this. I don't have the strength, dude, to like half the time unlock a fucking like jam jar or like a fucking like mayonnaise jar that I like sealed up tight as fuck for some reason and stuck back in the refrigerator and let it sit for like 2 weeks. And I try to open that fucker. Like I don't have the brute strength sometimes to open that. Like there's a lot of banging on the side of the counter. Do you know what I mean? And like, rubber grips trying to get the thing open sometimes. You know what I mean? Like I literally don't work out. I don't do anything. There's no way in hell I'm holding anybody's snout down, wrestling anything down to the ground. I don't have the strength probably to even fucking put somebody in a chokehold. It ain't happening. There ain't no way. Maybe if the kid was like a 13-year-old from my YouTube channel, I probably could handle it. But other than that, no, probably not. It ain't. I'm not a fighter, man. Nope. That's why I own guns, baby. That's why I own guns. There's just no way around it, dude.
Yeah, sometimes though you just might not have that gun, man.
I know. I'm not saying I wouldn't. I'm just saying that's my hope. That's why I own guns, because I don't have the brute strength.
All right. Next question.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather know how you will die or when you will die? I thought that was a good one that you put on there.
So, man, how I would die or when I would die. I would say when. I would want to know when, not how. And reason being is because I think it would give me a edge over death in the sense of like I would know when I was going to die, and therefore I would know my time schedule or my time limit, basically my expiration date. So therefore I would try to do anything and everything I can, before the expiration date. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I wouldn't be too concerned of how I would die. I would be more concerned of, okay, it's this day or this time or whatever the description would be, this is when you would die. And then I would just try to do everything I could before that happens to make sure that I don't miss out on anything.
Your last day on Earth would be some Final Destination bullshit.
Sure. Yeah. Depends on what you believe in, I guess.
Yeah.
Depends on how you look at the question.
Well, I'm saying you'd be like me trying to dodge death that whole day. You're like, oh, I'm not dying at this time. So then it's trying to catch up to you. Like, you die an hour later because it's like, no, you can't get away from death, motherfucker.
Well, no. I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying like what I would do is I would do everything in my life that I want to achieve and do, you know what I mean? Like, and partake in prior to my expiration date coming up. The day of the expiration date, obviously, like if I know when I'm dying, I mean, like it is what it is. Like that, what I would understand. Like I would go to bed that night before, basically, you know what I mean? Like saying, goodbyes or whatever I needed, to do, up until that night before. So the next day I know that I'm dying sometime in this day. You know what I mean? Like, that is what I'm trying to get at. I'm saying like, I wouldn't care about how I die. I mean, unless there's an exception, there's an exception that's not wrote in the question. And that would be, if you know how you're going to die, can you actively prevent your death by not doing that said thing? I mean, because if you can't, if that's not part of the question, then I would stick with my same answer.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, let's say it's a heart attack, then boom. I mean, you can't really stop that. So yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess that makes sense. I guess. I mean, I would actually choose the knowing how you will die, because here's my thought. The closer you get to your death date, I don't know that you would ever have that moment. I don't know anybody really. I mean, I guess there's some people, but I don't know, like, if you're ever going to be like, oh yeah, I got to do everything I wanted to do. Now I'm okay to die. So I think you're going to have some lot of anxiety when that death date hits, and the closer it gets to that death date, you're going to be like, oh shit. There is some like just in normal life, there's like, we already get anxiety over death because we don't know when or how. But here's what I'm thinking. If you know how you're going to die, it stops all the anxiety of all the ways you think you're going to die
that
you have as a human. Yeah. So it's like, if it's like you're going to die by getting into a car accident, then you're like, oh, okay.
I'll just never take a car.
My heart. Like, oh, I want that extra Whopper. Fuck it. I know I'm dying from a car crash.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you can't. Yeah, but that doesn't mean you can't have a heart attack. You just won't die from it. Doesn't mean you won't have clogged arteries because you just won't die from it. You still want to go through all that shit, sit in a hosptal.
Well, I'm not saying I would, but I'm just saying it would. I was just more saying it takes that anxiety away of like all the fears you have. Like, oh, I got numb fingers. Am I dying? Right. My two bottom fingers are numb. Am I dying?
Right. But see, like that's where I feel like, I don't know. I think my brain wouldn't go that direction. I think my brain would go straight to trying to cheat it. So like, meaning like my brain would instantly be like, oh, I die in a car accident.
Your brain might not go that direction, but it would just be a byproduct because you would know these other things aren't ways you're going to die.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying like then what my brain would do then immediately, if I was told that, like, oh, this is your confirmation death, you're going to die, via a car crash. Right. Like, but you don't know when. I would just avoid cars my entire life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know
that would be possible, like how,
but sure.
Yeah, it would. How is that not possible? You'd be able to walk anywhere you possibly could if you really wanted to.
And a car could hit you.
Oh, I guess. Yeah,
car crash doesn't mean you got to be driving
the car. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. Well, then you just fly everywhere. Can't get hit by a fucking car in a plane.
It runs into the runway and hits the plane.
I guess, yeah. Then you just always take private jets.
Or you got to get to the airport.
Listen, you just take private jets out of backyard. That's it. That's the only jet you ever fly the rest of your life.
Helicopters and shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep,
I mean, okay. Yeah. But again, we already said you can't cheat it. That was
no, like, I know. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. That's a good question.
I don't know. That's why I would choose that one. Cause I just think it would take a lot of anxiety away that I don't know that the other one would give you as much peace as what you're thinking it would. That's just my opinion.
I don't know, man. You're right, though. I mean, I've heard that answer before. Not exactly to this like same question, but I've heard that before when people have asked, would you want to know the exact date or time of your death? And I guess that would be hard because, yeah, I mean, you would bring a bunch of anxiety, but I think there's also a pro to it too, where you would then be able to know your expiration date. And if you chose wisely, you know what I mean, and you lived out your days as wisely as possible, you could take advantage of that, I feel like. But
yeah,
like to set yourself up, kind of like what was it called? What was the movie with Will Smith? I can't remember the name of it, but the movie that he did where he like donated every part of his body after he met all these people. I can't remember what it was called.
I don't remember, to be honest.
Anyways, Will Smith had a movie however long ago. Shout out to Will Smith. But basically, he had a movie that, man, I can't remember what the hell it was. But long story short, he had something terminal. And then what happened is he spent like the remaining chunk of his life meeting these people that needed 7 pounds. Yep. So he basically met 7 people that needed each individual item that he was a donor, like that he was going to donate. Mm-hmm. So when he died, he basically like gave his eyes to a blind woman, you know what I mean? That, could use his eyes and, gave his, heart to this person or liver to this person, things like that. And it was just a really, really good, I mean, it's a super tearjerker movie, but it's really, really good. So like, I don't know. I feel like you could do something like that, not necessarily in the donation aspect, but you could do something like that, knowing your expiration date basically versus not.
I mean, you can be an organ donor without knowing your expiration
date. I am an organ donor. Yeah, I am an organ donor. I know, all right.
I don't know. Go ahead.
All right. So I got a question for you. Ready for the next question? This is going to be, this one I'm really curious to know how your feeling is. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Do you already know what it is? Can you already guess?
I don't fucking know.
Okay. All right. So the question, we don't have to cover every one of them, but basically,
I'm just saying. There's a lot left. I don't know.
All right. So it's kind of a 2-part question because they kind of go hand in hand. But the first one is, do you personally believe in ghosts? Like actual
Actually, I did know. Ghost. This is the one I thought you were going to choose, but I'm like, nah, there's no way. But,
yeah. So it's a 2-part question because the one above it actually kind of goes hand in hand. Yeah. But the first question, I guess the first part I want to ask is do you believe in ghosts? Like truly?
No cap. No, but I want to. I like spooky shit. I like horror movies. I like horror games. I like getting frightened. Mm-hmm. But the only thing that frightens me is jump scares, like in games. I don't get scared because of like the story, the movie. Right. I wish I did, but I don't. I only get scared from the jump scares, and I do like that feeling. So I don't. I kind of wish I did. But I just don't, man. I don't really.
Is that just a lack of evidence? Is that what it is? Is that what it boils down to, or what? Or just lack of experience, or like whatever, or what?
I think if it did exist, we would have more
concrete evidence.
Yes. And I mean, it's kind of like the same thing with aliens. Not that I'm saying aliens can't exist, because I think that's a different, a whole different ballpark. But
right.
Like every shot is always like with a camera back from 1960. It's not like we have fucking these phones nowadays that can zoom in and take a fucking picture of the moon, but we can't get a clear shot of anything supernatural. So like there's just nothing there for me that and you're saying there's a second part, like, so I'm just gonna throw it in there now.
Yeah.
Do you ever get the cold feeling of a presence and run from it? I've never felt anything like that. Like, of course I've had nightmares, I've had dreams that have woken me up like with monsters and stuff, and yeah, those get you, but like I've never been awake and felt that. Like I might like have felt fear just from I don't know, being a dumbass and getting myself worked up over something, but
Right.
Never actually like have felt anything supernatural really. The closest thing I've had, and I think I've mentioned it before, either in one of our podcasts or maybe just on my live stream, I don't know. So tell me if I've said this before or not. But I did have an experience with a psychic that was kind of weird. But that's the only supernatural thing.
Yeah,
I've
you
ever
might
had.
have. I don't recall it, so I might not have been in there. But you probably did have a conversation.
I went to one with a friend, and I was having issues. The doctor thought I was having issues with my heart, and they put a heart monitor in my chest. And I went and saw a psychic, and I literally did not even speak to her. I paid the fee, walked up, sat down in the chair, did not say a word, did not do anything, because I was like, very much, I'm a skeptic. You know, obviously you can tell I'm saying I don't. But so my literally was like, I'm gonna go sit in the chair, put my hands on the top of my knees, like I'm sitting like, you know, like this.
Yep.
And I'm just gonna, you know, say hello, and then I'm not gonna say, you know, anything. I'm not gonna tell her anything about me. I'm just gonna let her go. So I'm like, hello, and she says, hi. I see you've been having some fear and issues involving around your heart. Like right on, and like that, and then like she was like telling me all this shit about it, and that was like the closest supernatural thing I ever had. It was freaky because I mean she was dead on. I was younger then. I mean this was 6 years, so I was like 29, 30 years old. I mean, like what kind of person is going to think a 29, 30-year-old's having heart issues?
Right. But
so
now my next question. Well, my only question that I would have to that would be, you said you went with a friend. Was it possible that your friend would have told her?
Could have been. I'm just saying that's the weirdest thing I've ever had happen. I don't know why my friend would do that, but maybe.
Well, just as you know, to make the whole experience the experience.
Maybe.
But I don't.
True.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
So, well, I mean, I guess was it his first time going?
Her
first time,
and
or no?
I don't. She's a believer of psychics and stuff. I don't know if that was her first time going to a psychic though or not.
Well, the reason why I was asking is because that kind of
ghosts and all
that. Right. But I'm saying the reason why I was asking that was because if it was her first time, I'm saying, okay, well then if they didn't ask you about her, do you mean, you know, then yeah, they probably didn't ask. But I'm saying, but like if it wasn't her first time, then you know, she could have said, you know, hey, he's a skeptical. You mean, you know, he doesn't believe in this sort of thing. You know, here's some information or whatever. You know what I mean? To kind of, you know, lure you kind of into the whole system. But I don't know. This is coming from a person who doesn't believe in it.
I will say we were together the entire time until we each went to our person that we had scheduled for an appointment.
Okay.
So unless there was some way those two people
were communicating,
are mic'd up and communicating, like hearing what we're saying to each other or something.
Right.
And it wasn't just that. There was a couple other, I mean, that was the big thing that just shocked me. And I remember to this day, but there was a couple other things too. There was something with like work and my job that she like was spot on about. There was just a couple things and again, I'm not saying I'm very much like, I asked myself that too. I'm like, did Rachel, my friend's name's Rachel, did Rachel somehow tell her something? I don't know. All I know is that's the weirdest supernatural thing I've ever had. And outside of that, I've never had any other kind of supernatural thing. So what about you?
So
now again, I do
I believe?
I want to believe.
Right. No, I understand. So I'm kind of all over the board when it comes to the ghost. I think I'm the opposite. I think I believe that there's ghost or there's supernatural stuff, but I don't want to believe, and I tell myself that it's not real, because I'm a firm believer that once you start searching and looking for it, then you can find it. And I don't want to find it. I don't like ghosts. I don't want any part of the supernatural element when it comes to that. Reason being is because various weird, odd experiences that I've had personally, like throughout my life. And then not only that, the weird stuff that I have heard from, you know, family and relatives, you know, like, and people close to me, I mean, you know, that I know that aren't just, you know, filling me full of shit. I mean, you know, they truly believe this, you know what I mean? And so again, the mind's a powerful tool. It could, you know, make them believe whatever it wants them to believe. But like, to give you an example, there was one time I went and stayed at it would be my second cousin, so my wife's cousin, house. We were there for a funeral. And I'll never forget it, man. It was like, I don't even want to know. I want to say like 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night. And I forgot something in my car, right? My mom's car. And we were parked in the driveway of this beautiful neighborhood. And so we opened up the garage, because they had to go through the garage to get out, but otherwise taking the front door of the house, my cousin's house. And everybody else was already in bed. My mom was putting me down for bed. And I don't know, I want to say I was like 15, 16. And I came walking out of the garage. So I hit the garage door is going up and the car's parked here. And then right across the street is another house. It's like it's a nice little neighborhood. And
right.
there's 2 cars parked. So you've got both of them facing the garage of this house. And the one car door is propped open. So they're facing the house. I'm seeing the back of these cars. And when the garage door goes up, there's a person, I swear there's a person standing right next to the car with the door open, right? No lights on or anything. I can just see the figure standing there. Okay. Full on. I can see tiny bit of light, like from like a reflection, like for the street lamp or whatever, kind of hitting the face, but it couldn't see anything else. Okay. That's all it was. I can just see a figure standing there. And so I walk all the way down. Our car is parked at the end of the driveway. So the road's right here separating me and the car. I walk down there, never taking my eyes off on it, super fucking scared. Like just weirded out, and open up the door, reach in, grab my item, I shut the door, still trying to look at, the figure, shut it, look up, the car door is still wide open. There's nothing there whatsoever. No figure, no nothing there whatsoever. The lights aren't on in the car. There's literally no lights. The only lights that I can see are the lights on my garage, shining in, the street lamp, everything else there, and a little bit of like, ambience lights, from the other various houses and stuff around, like in the neighborhood. I don't see anything. Okay. I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. I don't hear there's no movement. There's nothing going on. Right. So then I turn around and walk back, like, my back to the house, back up to the garage, and I turn around and the figure is not standing right there next to the car door anymore. The figure is at the end of the driveway by my car, my mom's car, where I was standing at. And it was the scariest thing. Like I had the chills going up my arms. Like I didn't know like I was frozen. Like I was like, I don't know what the hell to do. All of a sudden, behind me, my cousin comes, my second cousin, he was like, I don't know, 10 years, 15 years older than me, comes out of the house, the garage, inside the garage door, opens the door, and he was like, hey, are you done out here? I'm going to shut the garage up and close up for the night. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And I had just did this, and I turned around, and it was gone. It wasn't there. So like I've had that experience before, and it's very, very weird. It wasn't like a fucking thing you see in a movie, it wasn't bloodied up and, fucked up, looking or anything. It was just a weird, interaction. And I couldn't make out anything. I couldn't make out a face. I couldn't make out nothing. It was just looked like a person, but like not a person. Does that make sense? Like it's weird. And so there was that. And then the only other thing that I've ever personally had was as a kid, and I haven't gotten it in years, and I don't know if it's because I just grew up, but another thing that I had that I used to get all the time was when I was in the dark. So, and this could be fear, maybe it's just fear, but like I would get like this crawling feeling on the back of my neck, and I don't know what it is. And that's kind of where that question stems from. Did you ever get a cold feeling or a presence, or and run from it? So where that question actually comes from is personal experience. So like for me, I can remember all the time, dude, no matter where I was, whether it was me going out to the car to get some, whether it was me going downstairs, and the whole, downstairs, is completely dark, and I needed to get like a phone charger or grab, something, whatever. I always remember there was at random times where I would go and do something. And it was always in the darkness. I would go in like in the pitch black or doing whatever I'm doing. All of a sudden I would just get this feeling like, the back of the hairs on my neck would stick up, and I would almost feel as if like something was like, like this, just like straight, like right here hovering over the back of my neck, And then as soon as I would feel it, that fear would kick in. Like that, rage of like, holy fuck, I got to get this shit out of here. And like, I would just, right. Beeline straight up the stairs, or, straight up the driveway or down the fucking road, whatever it was, and I would just freak out. That's crazy. That's I used to have it a ton as a kid. And then speaking a little bit on religion aspect, I know this isn't religion, but speaking a little bit on religion, I don't know why, but there was a stint, and I never saw anybody for it because of my childhood. But I remember there was a stint of my childhood. I'm talking about, we're going way back. I'm going to say between 7 years old, I think my mom said, and like maybe 10 or 11. So like a good 3 years there, I was waking up in the middle of the night, and I would come crying into her room, and I would tell her the exact same dream over and over and over again. And the same dream is that I was going to hell. Like I was being presented, and this is like a 7-year-old, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, obviously I went to churches, you know, in and out, you know, as a kid, all growing up. And I just, for whatever reason, knew I was going to hell. And I could not shake the feeling. And it was the same dream all the time, over and over and over again. And it was just, there was no reason for it. It was just, but for what, in my dream, I was on my judgment day, standing there before, you know, the God or whatever, you know, whoever's doing the judging, you mean, and they were like, nope, you're doomed to hell. Bam. And I don't know if it was just because I watched a movie. I don't know, you mean, anything like that, because I was so young. I just remember that, like, you know, I had that as well. So I don't know. I mean, but on a flip side, do I believe in ghosts? No. The answer is no, I don't believe in ghosts, because I've never seen a ghost. I've never been around a ghost. Ghosts don't come and talk to me. I don't have any ghosts, you know, go into my life. And you know why I don't? Because I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to know them. They don't exist to me. Because as soon as I start to find them or look for them, motherfuckers are going to come, and I don't want to deal with that shit. I'm scared of those things. Nope, they don't exist.
See, I'm the opposite. Most of my life, I mean, with everything, like vampires, where I've always been fascinated by this stuff. Like you were talking about, you like vampires, not just vampires, werewolves, like any mythological creature, any mythological thing. Like I used to be obsessed with like things like Atlantis and aliens, and just Area 51 and all that stuff. You know, especially like as a kid growing up, I mean, a hardcore stint of, I remember loving just digging into that stuff. I loved movies like fucking, you know, the old like Xena Warrior Princess.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and all just like anything that had to do with, like, you know, Greek gods, or, you know, just all that stuff.
I'm with you too, but I don't want any part of the ghost aspect. None of the ghost aspect.
I would love to see that. Like, that's what I'm saying. I would like, I've actively gone to like haunted locations with friends and stuff, trying to, but just nothing. Never nothing, man.
Listen, man, I'm gonna tell you right now, you are on your own. Hell no. I'm not. Nope. And that's
in another life, I could be one of those haunted YouTubers that do all the
and that'd be
areas.
Perfectly fine. Yep, that'd be perfectly fine. For me, hell no. Nope.
I'd be playing it up like, oh, Cardassians, there's an orb right there on your screen, man. Holy shit, I think there's a ghost in there with you.
Yeah, hell no. Nope. For me, nope. I stay clear about that.
I just watched him. He just shifted his eyes and checked a second. He's like, oh shit, is there an orb behind me?
I'm looking at my camera right now. Hell no. No, dude, but for real, like no, legitimately, like I don't do scares at all, nothing like that. Like as a kid, I never wanted to go to haunted houses.
I love haunted houses.
Nope. Never wanted to go to haunted houses. I never would go to fucking people's garages for Halloween when they had candy inside, because there was one time when I was a kid and we fucking went inside to grab the candy. There was nobody in that garage that you could tell. And you walking up to this decorated garage, they got a big candy bowl. The fucking garage door shuts behind you. The guy's got a chainsaw with no blade on it. It's just fucking like,
yeah, we used to have those guys their head off through the neighborhood.
Nope, hell no, nope. I was done. Yeah. I was done, dude. I was done. One time was all it took. Never want to know about it again. I'm just a safe man. I'm a safe dude. Nope, like not gonna be outside in the dark.
One person would say safe. The other person would say dead in a zombie apocalypse. You can't.
I agreed to both.
You're saying you got no survival skills.
No, I agreed to both.
Saying you're scared of everything.
Yep.
I'm just fucking around with you, brother.
Nope. Trust me. Nope. I
know where have you ever seen? And I mean, not that, but because of what you're saying, it's picturing me in my mind. Like if you were to go to a haunted house, have you ever seen when Ellen DeGeneres sends her one guy executive producer, to haunted houses on her show?
No,
and he freaks out.
No,
oh my god, they're the funniest shit ever, dude. Oh, they're the funniest shit.
No,
I'm like, that would be Cardassians.
Oh, dude, no, I would never go. I would quit Ellen's show immediately. If I was on Ellen's show and she was like, look, I'm going to give you, you know, anything you want in your entire life or whatever, if you go to like X amount of haunted houses, I would never go. Nope. I would be like, nope, it's not worth it. Not worth it at all. I'll just continue doing my everyday job right now. Nope, it ain't happening.
All
right.
Do
next question. What do you got?
More?
Yeah, sure. I'm down. Let's roll.
Let me see. I think I'm going to go with this one.
All right.
Would you rather have a permanent splinter under your big toenail or have a permanent bad haircut?
Permanent bad haircut.
I feel like this is actually pretty easy.
Permanent bad haircut.
I liked it because it was kind of funny, like, ooh, a splinter under your big toenail, but it's pretty easy. You're like, yeah, a permanent bad fucking haircut.
Yeah, like, dude, you can cover up a haircut. You can fucking put a hat on. You don't have like the haircut's still shitty. Walking
around with a goddamn splinter, like anything under your toenail, fucking hurts. Right. All right, I'm asking another one. That one, that one is what it is.
Yep.
Would you rather? This is a good one, actually. This one's not funny, but it's a good one.
No worries.
Here. Would you rather know the world's secrets or live ignorantly forever?
Know the world's secrets.
Really? What's your justification?
Well, my justification would be, I don't know, then I could actively take advantage of them versus just constantly living in the trial and error mode forever. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're living ignorantly forever. So that means like you're never gonna know. Like, so like, so you're gonna constantly be trying to chase the no. And it's like, nah, I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to know the world's secrets. I don't have to take advantage of the world's secrets just because I know them. You know what I mean? Like when I don't want to, but then I would when I wanted to, because I do know them.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I think it gives you more of an edge. I mean, I think it gives you more of an edge. You would know, so you'd be able to take advantage of them or not take advantage of them whenever you wanted to. I mean, versus not knowing, you would never know. So, I mean, you're just constantly living your life by trial and error all the time and figuring, and I don't know. The shitty part says you will always be ignorant though. So like you would never learn from it. You would never like figure out the right way to do it.
I hear what you're saying, but
maybe we're interpreting it two different ways.
No, I don't think we are. I think you're interpreting it correctly. There's an old saying, and I think it rings really true. Yep.
Yeah.
Ignorance is bliss. I almost think the more you learn, the more anxiety comes from the more knowledge you have. I actually think, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I don't fucking know. I mean, I don't know the world's secrets.
Well, I think it depends on.
But I think it depends on
how you
know the world's secrets. Like you're like, oh, you don't have to use them. I think that would be hard not to. I think as you learn stuff, like you learn that you should be healthy, it's hard not to want to then try to be more healthy, which can be very whatever. Like whereas I know people in my life
trying to worry about
just
being healthy.
They don't learn about any of that stuff, and they're very ignorant to it. And you can tell they just don't stress out over that stuff, not because they shouldn't, but just because they don't fucking know any better. Like they don't know.
Right.
They're happy working, 9 to 5 at a factory every day.
Yeah,
that's the life they have.
We'll take the
they
question.
Have no ambition. So I just think like the more knowledge you have, like we say, like, it gives greater ambition, and all those things are good. But I do think it comes with a sacrifice of
stress, anxiety. Yeah, right.
Bliss.
Exactly. Right.
You're right. Like, and so to know that much, I feel like would be with a lot of stress, and maybe anxiety is a bad word because not everybody gets anxious over that amount of knowledge, but it is. I like the word stressful better. I think that word that you just used is a better word for it. So knowing that much of the world's secrets, you're assuming like, just how everything works, how all the, all that, like, I think that would come with a lot of fucking stress.
It would.
And I don't know that I would want
trying to do.
And maybe like, you're like, maybe in your mind, you're like, oh, I can, like it's worth it. Cool. I don't know. I think reducing stress has always been my goal. Less stress, easier life. But I try to do it both ways. I try to be very willing to learn new things and all that, but I also try to actively reduce stress as much as possible. But I don't know. I think if it came down to that would be a lot of stress. I think I would choose live ignorantly forever, and I would go with the ignorance is bliss, because I think that's very, very true.
Yeah. And that's a good answer. It's a really good answer. Yeah, I mean, again, you're right. It depends on how you look at the situation. You know, I mean, if you look at a person who, like you said, is not very, you know, aware, or, you know, what's the word? Ignorant, more ignorant, you know, about things. Yeah, they seem to live a more
Simple, happier.
fulfilled life
Yeah.
versus, like you said, the more knowledge that you know, the more stress does come from it, because you are then stressing to make sure you're doing those things that you know are the right way to do it all the time. You know what I mean? Versus, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just
what's that
not
Spider-Man
knowing.
quote? It's a little different. It's not about like what you know, but what's that? With great power comes great responsibility.
Responsibility. Yeah.
Like I mean, knowledge is a form of power. It might be a different form of power than like
Right.
strength, say, or something, or being bit by a radioactive fucking spider. But nonetheless, it's a form of power. And you know, I just like, again, that responsibility comes with a lot of fucking stress. And to know the
Right.
world secrets, you're probably talking like president level stress.
Yeah.
And
Interesting.
you know, there's a reason I never tried to become a fucking president. I don't want that kind of fucking stress in my life.
Right. Nope. I agree. I agree
All right,
100%.
brother. All you.
All right. So I say we do one more and we wrap it up, because I believe it is 11 p.m. for you, isn't it? Or 11, almost 11:20 for you.
Yeah, 11:20. So that'll put me at about 11:30. That's fine. That'll be good.
Yeah, we'll just do one more and wrap it up here for us. All right.
Pick a good one.
I know. Don't
Pick a good one.
No stress.
Don't fail us. No stress. You have all the world secrets in your hands. You got all the lists right here.
I know.
It should be
all right.
Easy to pick.
All right. Here we go. This is a good one. This is going to be a deep one. All right. We'll end it off on a deep one. Okay.
Okay.
So the deep one is would you rather be the person who flips the switch during executions, or be the judge who decides who should be executed? So you're either deciding on the person's fate, or you are being the executioner and ending their life. What's your take?
Fuck.
It's a hard question.
I just literally said it is, but it isn't for me. I just literally said, like, I don't want that much burden and that much, you know, from the world secrets, but the judge, I'd have to be, only because, and I hope this doesn't sound whatever, but like I'm just
not judging you. I'm not judging you. Yeah. That's what we're here for.
You're flipping the switch. Because I actually think I'm very centrist. I actually think I'm very good at seeing the both sides of things, almost to a fault, almost to where, like, I've never really fit in with either side of people. Like, I've had trouble fitting in with like a lot of my very conservative family. I've also had trouble fitting in with a lot of my liberal friends, because I see both sides, and not just, you know, I'm using that as an example, but not just with politics, but with everything in life. Like, I see,
you see the person stealing, but you also see the person stealing for a good reason, or whatever they're trying to do. Yeah.
And even into the more like, that's a pretty easy thought process. Like, oh, anybody could, but even into the more complicated things that we deal with in life, I'm really good at seeing the good and bad in each of those situations. I feel like, I mean, obviously I've never,
I use you all the time. So that's a good example.
Again, not that I would, believe it or not, I would rather be the guy that flips the switch, because it's easy. And like I said, with the world secret things, I really don't want that responsibility. But if I was the guy flipping the switch and watching somebody else do it, I don't know that I'd be able to live with myself if I felt a wrong decision was made, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
I think I got to pick that one. I think I got to be the judge.
Yep.
Not that I want to.
I think, well, in throwing it back on me, I think that I'm gonna second that. I think that I would want to be the judge, and the only reason for me personally, not because I think I'm good at anything like that, because I don't know if I would be or not. I think for your last statement in your sentence, and that would be the fact that I don't know if I would be able to trust another person's decision making. Do you know what I mean? For me to be the person that carries out that action. Does that make sense? Like, I just don't know without me. I don't know. There's a lot more information that's missing from the statement, basically, meaning like, would I know? Like, you know what I mean? Like, or would it be just, like somebody just brings me this person and they're just like, okay, he's sentenced to death. And then I would have to just flip the switch, knowing nothing. If that's the case, or knowing that I didn't have any, evidence or anything that I can judge or, or make my own opinion based on it, it'd be really, really hard. I think that'd be a tough spot to be in versus me being able to be the judge, see the evidence, see everything, and be the decision maker. Then I would hopefully be able to trust enough in myself, do you know what I mean, to not sentence anybody to die unless I thought it was without a shadow of a doubt. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. I mean, that would be, I think either one would be hard. It's a good question to end on. Very, very tough.
Yeah, I do think either would be hard to do. I mean, having to, because number one, like, just to also preface, I mean, not to, but just to preface, I actually don't believe in the death penalty. Okay. So just be tough either way that you're choosing whether someone gets executed or not. But still, nonetheless, I think it's the same reason, like, I couldn't be a cop. I could never be a cop. Like, it was taught, like, friends like mentioned, like, I had a couple friends that were in the military and then they were going to get out and be cops and stuff. And, they wanted me to join the military and do that. It was the same reason. I couldn't do a cop. I couldn't be in the military. I just don't know that I trust anybody enough. Like cops, like, they get a lot of flack, but at the end of the day, they're just following the rules that somebody else gave them. They're the guy flipping the switch in this example. And I just don't think I can be that guy. I just think, we need those people, and I'm thankful we have those people, but it's just not the life for me, man. I would like I'd rather be the guy that would be able to change the law that I think is bullshit and people and fucking people over and shit than just enforcing the law just because I have to. I think it's all the same thing. That's that same feeling. So good question though. It is a good question. And
yeah, it's a very good question. Anyways, D, right. So wrapping everything up, my friend, what do you have anything else you want to discuss or talk about before we officially hop out of here? Any information, any knowledge, anything? Last podcast we left them on was, Mr. D struggling over here.
Yeah. I guess I can give a quick update. I am doing better. I think I mentioned to you off stream that, I'm doing a little better or whatever. The reason I was trying to be that open and stuff on the last podcast and be open, because we have these podcasts sometimes, and normally we talk and we're like, oh, how's your stuff going? And then you ask me, how's my stuff going? And we're like, oh yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And I don't think creators talk a lot when they're feeling those lows. And I think every creator feels them at some point. I think every, not just creator, but like every artist, every entrepreneur, anybody using that part of their brain, whatever that is, the creativity, whatever you want to call it. I think we all go through those times where you question yourself, you doubt yourself, you question whether your tactics are the right or not, you question whether you're good enough, you question all those things. So I was just trying to shine light that I was dealing with those. I never meant, and I don't know if it did or not, but I'm just prefacing for our audience out there, I never meant for it to come off that like I was really, really struggling, like really fucking whatever. It was just more of me trying to be as open and transparent as possible, that like, even when you've been doing this stuff for a while, even when you kind of got a rhythm in place and you're doing your shit and it is growing, even though it might not be growing as fast as you want it to grow, or doing like you're still seeing growth, like even with all that, you still struggle. Like there's always that struggle, and that's okay. And I'm doing much better. I'm just putting out some content again. I ended up doing what I always preach to you, that I heard from that Sarah Dietschy girl, which is one for them, one for me. And I ended up doing a couple of videos that were like just basically like that. I think you said you really enjoyed it, that DJI Air 2S kind of vlog first impressions video I did. That was totally that wasn't anything that I thought would do well on the channel necessarily. It wasn't. I just wanted to fucking do it. I wanted to go out and fly the drone, and I wanted to make a video about it. And it turned out to be really fun. I really enjoyed the video. I think I just threw in some of that. It helped me out a bit. It's got me back on track. I will still say, you know, I mentioned it last time. I do think I'm starting to realize that I do struggle with some kind of a depression thing or something. I've just had too many episodes in my life now that, and I'm at an age where I realize like there's something there.
Right.
So I am still taking medication. I am trying that out. I have been doing counseling, talk therapy for years now, which has helped me. You know, but I did decide to get on the medication. I am still doing it. You know, I might even do a video on my YouTube channel at one point about like, you know, my experiences of, you know, after I've been on it a while, my experience of whether I think it's helped me, or I think it would be interesting to do a video about it.
Oh yeah.
Or even just talk about it on the podcast sometime or something. I don't know.
Of course.
But yeah, so that's where I'm at. I mean, I'm, you know, kind of back to normal. I feel kind of normal. I'm still a little bit, like I'm not quite back to like 100% productivity, but I think, and that might be another, like, I would love to have this topic sometime. Like we always throw topics around in our Discord, and I'll probably forget. So remind me.
Yeah,
but
well,
I would
just
love
write it in here
to do a podcast on like the whole hustle mentality, because I'm very much a hustle mentality type person. I think you are too.
Yeah.
But the older I get, and I don't know if you've started like, but I do think that society as a whole is really leaning, I think, a little too far to this hustle side of things.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know. I think it would be interesting to talk about, because I know like I'm a big fan. I mean, huge fan of Gary Vee. I've been watching Gary Vee's content for probably 4 or 5 years now. He's one of the biggest things that picked me up out of my last big depressive episode and really got me. Him and Casey Neistat really got me back into creating content online. Those two people. So I'm a bit, and he's a hustle preacher.
Yep.
And there's a couple. I mean, even Casey Neistat's a hustle preacher. He preaches hustle, and I'm a really big fan of hustle. But I do think.
I've never seen Casey Neistat outside of Peter McKinnon's videos. I've never looked at Casey Neistat's videos. I really enjoy Peter McKinnon. So like I that's how I found out about Neistat. I didn't even know anything about him.
Yeah.
Gary Vee, I do know. Obviously, I follow Gary Vee. I've sent you some videos and stuff from Gary Vee that I've watched and listened to.
Yeah. Yep. And again, I'm a huge fan. So I don't want to like knock, like, I think it's right, but also not hustling is right. Like, does that make, like, both are right?
It makes perfect
hustling
sense,
is right, but not hustling is also right.
Yeah.
And I think at the end of the day, you got to make work for you whatever works for you.
Yeah, you got to find
the right
balance. So I say all
that to say that you know, and I don't even know that there is a balance. I think it's
I'm saying balance for an individual. I'm saying that you got to find
right, but I don't even know if that exists. I think sometimes you just have periods of your life where you can hustle more, and sometimes you gotta pull back and relax a bit. You just you know, get a little whatever. And so like right now, I would say you're like in a hustle grind phase of your life. Like things are popping off, things are going well. If there's ever a time to fucking hustle in your life, this is probably fucking it. Right. But there's probably going to be a time in a year or two when all that hustle is going to catch up to you, and you're going to need to take a year or two of, you know, not that you're not still hustling, but less of a hustle. But but all we ever preach is hustle, hustle, hustle. That I think we forget to tell people, like, it's also okay to slow down sometimes.
Right.
Like you can turn it from 110% hustle to 90% hustle, and you're still going to be great in life.
Right.
You're still going to accomplish more than probably 80% of the rest of the people in the world that don't hustle at all. That are just going to a 9 to 5 and doing whatever. So I just think that would be an interesting to talk about. Kind of, it would be.
That's a good topic. Yeah, that's a good topic for a future episode. I think that'd be sweet. Yeah, I'd love to get into something like that.
So anyway, so that's, you know, just since you brought it up, kind of a little update of where I'm at. Other than that, I don't really have anything else to add. We can drop the best places for people to find us if you want, or if there's anything you would like to add or throw in. When we do finish this, I would like to talk to you about that NFT stuff for just a second.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know if we want to be talking about that on air yet. So people stay tuned.
More NFTs on the way, baby. Yeah, no, I mean, for sure. So you can find more information about me. Again, my name is Codations here on the OMG It's Derek podcast as co-host. You can find me at codations.com. Now, I will say I did just find out earlier today for some reason that I've got a expired Discord link on my my website. So if that's something you're interested in, I got to get that fixed. But other than that, all of my social media links on there should be working just fine. You can find my YouTube channel, my Twitter handle, my Facebook, all that jazz, theacodations.com. And OMG, you have a website too as well, right?
Yes, sir. OMG, it's Derek.com. That'll take you to my website where I have, all of my stuff, whatever I'm doing online, you can find there. It's basically, a one-stop catch-all, whether it's my photography stuff, whether it's my gaming stuff.
Your gear too. I love your gear layouts on there. You got all of your stuff laid out there with all your gear, which is cool.
Yeah. I do think a couple of those need a little, because I did change my lights and stuff. I don't remember if I updated them or not, but I do need to probably update those. That's probably a good reminder. I'm going to make a little note of that right now. with that being, I do overall keep it pretty updated. My website. I even, I upload all the podcast episodes. You can always find them all listed there and listen to them directly off the website, as well as Apple Podcast, Spotify, however you're listening to it now. But just saying, if you ever for some reason can't find any of our stuff on a platform, one of our websites, you can probably find a link to whatever it is you're looking for. So OMG, it's Derek.com. You'll find all my shit. Anything else?
No, the only thing I was going to offer too is, like, as we did the last couple podcasts, is, guys, we need some reviews. So anybody that's out there currently listening, please, we'd love to hear from you, whether it's going to be, via, comments on a YouTube video, or it's going to be a review on one of your favorite platforms that you listen to the podcast. We could utilize your reviews. And not only that, if you are looking on YouTube, drop a comment down below on some suggestions for some future topics for videos. We'd love to hear that as well. On Twitter, me and Derek are also very active. So if you, by the way, I've been working on it, Derek, just so you know. We're very active on Twitter. So if you guys, again, have any suggestions, maybe you want to be a guest on the podcast, maybe you've got a really good topic idea, definitely reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Like I said, don't be shy. So we're very social. So, but yeah, with that being said, Derek, I'm good, my friend.
All right. And thank you guys, as always, for tuning in, for listening, for hanging out with us. We really do appreciate it. We love your faces. And I just pulled up our podcast on Apple. And I don't know how to see if there's any reviews or not. Is that still a thing on Apple?
See, it is.
But anyway,
it definitely is.
We can talk. Yeah, I'm looking up, but I don't even see like on anybody's when I look it up, like reviews. But anyways, leave a review. We love your faces. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Me and Codation will figure out whether reviews exist or not off air. Love your faces. See you guys on the next one.
See you guys
Peace
later.
out, everybody.
Later.